really good, solid, consistent high results when they are traveling like in their own country, but they don't, you don't see them out of town very often. So I'm very excited to see what they can do here. Obviously, Young Link versus Roy, a very interesting matchup. I really just think that Young Link doesn't really have any losing matchups, at least anything worse than -1. I think that's chalking up to just how multifaceted they are. Zangrix, however, I'm feeling very confident. All right, they have a lot of Young Link experience. I mean, a lot of Young Link experience playing against Kendrick, Olimar all the time. And listen, does my boy Zangrix know how to play against Young Link? He's like 1-12.
Yeah.
So the answer is no.
But last time, though.
the last time, this could be it. As we do get into the game, Barabi, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, I definitely think it's an interesting matchup. You have Roy obviously being very aggressive, wanting to rush in all the time, and Young Link can be aggressive, but he also likes to kind of keep you at that distance where that fire arrow and that boomerang is going to be very oppressive and actually make you want to get through it and have to struggle with getting past that neutral that Young Link is throwing out at you. So I think it's definitely going to be a game of can Zangrix actually break through that defensive that Midlight is throwing out. But the problem is, once you do get through that defensive, Young Link still has good tools up close. You have that up out of shield, which is very, very good, and a lot of safe aerials too, a lot of good frame data. It's not going to be easy to actually get some mileage out of your openings. And we see the mileage being all on the favor of Midlight, getting that stock, 150%. The Nair is going to kill.
Yeah, very, very strong right there. Excellent work from Midlight, being able to grind up that percentage so consistently as we are just taking Zangrix across the stage right now. Midlight doing a great job at kind of shifting. All right, more than happy just to abuse those tools, especially against someone like Roy, someone who has to get in, get down and dirty to get his work done. So it's very, very easy and just light work for our good boy Mid.
Nice backer out of shield too, and we do see some... The frame data of Young Link, right? It's so insane. Like, it used to be a meme, like, never look up the frame data of Young Link, because you will never want to play this game again. It's absolutely brutal, the amount of safe stuff he has, the amount of, like, really quick get-off-me options there are. It's not easy to play against, and I think Zangrix is struggling a bit to actually know what to do up close as well, because it's not... He's like getting that oppression that he's used to getting as Roy, right?
No, not at all, not at all. Obviously, Zangrix or even Roy as a character in general really, really thrives from kind of the snowball effect. Just being able to take aggression, take that momentum and just run with it, constantly keep your opponent under siege. And maybe this could be the trigger that sort of ignites that, but he's really struggling just to beat these projectiles. A lot of really good trap work coming out from Midnight just to deny space or just force certain options that can then just be punished. These nairs are just ferocious.
Yeah, that's the issue too. There's no area on the stage where you're safe from Young Link, right? The neutral B and the side B is going to cover a lot no matter where you are, and if you're up close, like we said. A lot of tools there too. I think Zangrix is doing very well right now, though this advantage state that could be huge. The advantage state is where you need to make stuff count. You obviously can be killed very early with this sweet spot that Roy has up close. Remains to be seen if we can make it happen though. Let's see, the bomb as well. The ledge shutting is actually very cool from Midlight.
No, it's really fantastic. Just slight little tinkers coming out just to make sure that Zangrix had to put everything into avoiding them. You saw a few of these boomerangs have only been dodged by getting perfect wavelands, which is really fantastic. But it just goes to show how aggressive Midnight is being as we are forced out once again, avoiding, but there's no tech. Wow, sort of mixed himself up by grabbing the bomb there.
Yeah, and a great two-stock from the side of Midlight. I think it's interesting because towards the end there, I think Zangrix on ledge got a little bit like flowcharty, I guess.
Yeah.
If you keep doing, he mixed up his options. I'll give him credit there, but he had the same timing, right? Yeah. And that's an issue. If you mix up your options but not your timing, your mix-ups are not that effective because a lot of characters can cover a lot of options. It's just a timing that can be tricky. You can't really react to it. So if Midnight reads the timing, he might not know whether it's a jump, a roll, or a neutral get-up, but he can still cover quite a lot of it, no matter what. So I think that's something that Zangrix needs to change up. The ledge trapping looked a little rough towards the end there, and Midlight got a lot of mileage.
Definitely, definitely. I'm curious what stage pick we are going to. Ah, lovely double platformer. All right, these are wonderful for swordies in general, especially Roy. You can kind of swing from both. Just run off aerials in general as swordies are just such a wonderful tool to be able to use. You're going to see a lot of that coming out from Zangrix as we're already playing a lot slower than we were before, but Midlight more than happy to adapt in turn, just forcing approaches by just peppering Zangrix constantly. However, we have a little chain going off stage right now. Going to see if Zangrix can get anything going. Great drift coming out to keep Midlight safe as we are just gaining ground, forcing reaction.
I've been very interested to see the set between Zangrix and Kendrick Olimar, because it seems so hard to actually get any good advantage on Younglik here. I mean, you can't really get an edge guard right. The ledge shotting hasn't been quite on point. And the neutral as well looks really, really hard. I'm not sure if this matchup is necessarily even losing for Roy, but I'm struggling to see where the light at the end of the tunnel is. Like, where do you actually get in, right? What are you looking for?
I would completely agree. A bit of a clash there. Looking disastrous for Zangrix as we do immediately run back. Obviously, that's the problem with characters like Roy, just from the mentality you used to play them. Obviously, you want to go, 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 go. But like you said, that just makes your timing so predictable because you're trying to cover the distance so quickly.
There once again with that same timing. Not getting punished though, but the up tilt is going to close out the stock. I mean, it's still very close. So we've seen Roy close out stocks way earlier than this. But the up B can't punish it, especially not if you're grabbing the wrong way. It's a very tough move to play against. Because, I mean, obviously a lot of people think, oh, I can just kind of grab it or forward area out of shield. Not a lot of characters can, but this jab back are almost killing as well. Wow,
that would have been wonderful, but unfortunately just not coming out. This is where you want to be as Roy. You want to be forcing this tiny just inertia of room so you can find something like a Jer or just find even a side B to try and take him down. As the up air, fantastic work, caught by his own bomb into the Doom as Zangrix looking a lot healthier than before, but Midlight just really, really shaking this game and just driving away with it.
It was very, I think the advantage there from Zangrix was really beautiful, oppressing so much at ledge. And Midlight just choosing the same options. Of course, I think Zangrix could have chosen or covered a lot of stuff, but if you keep doing that neutral get up on that jab, just thinking, okay, maybe I can get through it, then Zangrix is going to have no issue just continuously jabbing and grabbing. It's going to be no issue for him at all. You have to mix it up. Oh! I like it though.
I saw the vision. You certainly did as tilt to set him off stage. Could find the kill here. This could be massive for Zangrix if he plays his cards right. Unfortunately, not going to find it just yet. As
beautiful coverage. I love that.
Insane, wonderful stuff. What about as low as you could feasibly go while still picking an option that can kill? Fantastic work as we are just peppering. Great stuff. Keeping Midlight high as we're forced up once again. There's the fair train.
And the movement is also beautiful from Zangrix. Even though Midlight gets back to stage, he's still pushing this mileage that he has been, you know, really making sure that he's adapting. He's making it very clear to us. 52% on Midlight already, but let's see if Midlight can make something happen.
Back to obviously taking ground on those platforms. We can find a nice run off aerial. Caught by the up special, that's quite all right for now. Looking very even, but it's now Zangrix in disadvantage. And we've seen Midlight just go from 0 to 60, but goes far too low. Zangrix not happy with that one, looking healthier, but Midlight with a fantastic opening performance here. Just looks absolutely indomitable.
Not surprising at all. I mean, very unfortunate, and I think it's like, it's not uncommon, right? Unfortunately, that you're thinking that, okay, now I'm going to take it, and the momentum is going to be in my favor, and the difference between 1-1 and 2-0 is so massive, especially in your mind, right? Even though, like, okay, you win one game and you can get the momentum back, it's still like, the mentality aspect of it can really mess you up, and I don't think it's uncommon to have a little misinput towards the end there.
No, I certainly don't think so. Great read on the air dodge coming up from Midlight right there with Tether grab. Looking fairly even, just trading blows right now, feeling each other out. Zangrix had a bit more luck this time around in breaking that distance, in forcing them out. There's the back air. Sent out one more will do it, but my goodness. Oh! Wow. Insane work, the bomb actually cancelling that momentum, saving him. That was so clutch from Midlight, but Zangrix must be reeling after that one. That was a kill, that was your momentum, but it just disappears in the blink of an eye.
And he's barely recovering as well, but now we actually do get the stock 42% on Roy. Can we push this even further? I mean, Zangrix has been showing this movement, like he's saying, he's not scared to camp anymore. He's saying, I don't have to approach all the time. And certainly, I think that's the way to go. You want to approach all the time as well. We talked about it earlier. The aggression is very, very common. And you love to see it as well. But sometimes you just have to accept that it's not my turn right now. And I think Zangrix is doing phenomenally, accepting that and realizing that. But the up B, not quite taking the stock though.
Not quite yet. Roy with Rage, obviously a very dangerous thing, but not a whole lot even that can do with 14%. We need a couple more stray hits. We need a bit of a train. We need something just to get him up to about 60, and then you can find these ludicrous kills, especially side B-wise. But Midlight not giving him the time of day. Bit of a clip there. Got to force the shield out on those raining bombs, and this is what you want. Again, just retreating to these platforms. Zangrix is using the space so well on this small battlefield. They are forced out once again. The Nair not going to connect, but Midlight looking for this kill, trying to find an up air, trying to find something, just force an arrow confirm or something, but Zangrix not letting it happen. Insane little P-reverse, but Midlight more than ready for it.
Yeah, that's the thing with Youngling, right? You miss one move, you send out another. It's just going to happen, and Zangrix not quite ready for it. Good stuff for Midlight, though. Let's see, we have this situation once again. Zangrix being careful with his openings, not wanting to rush things. I love the F smash,
yeah,
though.
No, that's beautiful. Fantastic stuff coming out. Can we find the jab? Not quite possible right now as Midlight just dancing in and out of the range, trying to force a whiff. And it's working so well as once again, Zangrix has to retreat high just to avoid these arrows. Try to find a way in.
All right, nice stuff. Getting off stage. Maybe being able to push this advantage, but it's been looking rough so far.
There's no punish there.
Not getting the F-tilt, not challenging it in the air as well. Very uncharacteristic there, but let's see. An entire stock lead basically here. Again, staying very cautious here. I like this range that he's playing at. It's a range where Youngling isn't as strong. Of course, he still has his projectiles, but they are reactable. You can definitely react to them and just play around them. It's just kind of scary because you can't do anything back, right? That's the issue. But at the end of the day, Midlight's not going to stand there forever, and it's showing that he's not going to just camp forever. He's going to approach at some point, and at that point, Zangrix can find an opening, and he can make his advantage count, right?
Yeah, he certainly can. You can see that Zangrix getting a little bit antsy there, trying to roll in, which is never a good idea against a character like Youngling. Midlight holding ground though, keeping it safe. We're in a lovely position, but can it be enough as we are poking the shield? Keeping it. Here's the scrap, here's the scramble. Forced into the air, but the sour hit. Not going to do it. Can we find it?
Almost dead already, off stage, 84% and building. Let's see if the ledge trap is here. Not going for the grab, just kind of facing back, saying, I don't want to deal with this, but the Nair will send Zangrix into disadvantage. The backer finally takes it, and that's the momentum changer that you need if you're Zangrix.
Smacked with the hilt, going 2-1. Midlight. This is where things get very difficult, and this is where if you're Midlight, I'd be feeling very confident because, again, I'm remiss to put a lot of onus on stage selection. I don't think it's necessarily like critically important in every matchup, but I think it's more appropriate for playstyle than actual character matchup. And I think playstyle-wise, Zangrix is so much more comfortable on these double platforms. Yeah. And so if we do end up going back to something like a Hollow Bastion or maybe even somewhere in the crossing sphere, we could be in trouble.
Definitely, I agree 100%. It's that disadvantage you have by being on the receiving end of a reverse 3-0, right? Or you're the one who has to do the reverse 3-0. It's definitely not a situation you want to be in. Just imagining as well, I think Zangrix is maybe not the most composed player. I think maybe in his head he's thinking, it should be 2-1 me, right? He's thinking that. It was my game. And that can end runs very quickly.
Certainly can. PS2, an interesting choice actually. Midlight not really finding many kills off the top during this set, so I think it's actually very healthy for him. It's more Zangrix who's finding a lot of these up airs, and so that is going to be a nice buffer in keeping him safe, but a nice train going off the side. Obviously the sides of PS2, very infamous, especially when you are looking towards that Roy side B, but we're going to see if it is actually going to come into play, or it's just Midlight's concrete fundamentals that are going to carry him through right now, as trying to mix up each other's movement. Can we find a punish right there? We actually can.
Yeah, nice going for the downward angle one too. Just knowing that you need to continuously make it longer in order to actually continue the punish there. I like that from Zangrix, and I think it's going a little bit more aggressive now than it was last game. Maybe feeling that fire a little bit, feeling that momentum, right? I don't think that's bad at all, but he will need to mix it up, right? I think that's one of the keys to playing as zoners and slower characters that want you kind of away from you. I think one of the keys is mixing up your pace, right? You can't always rush in, you can't always camp. You have to mix it up and make it unpredictable when you're actually going in to catch them off guard.
Yeah, you really got to keep them guessing. Good reaction to avoid that down there right there. Midlight is holding on to that as an option, and it's quite nice. It's a good ace to have up the sleeve. Doesn't get Zangrix this time, but it could come to fruition. Falls right out. Buttered up is our boy Zangrix, falling right out of the up B.
100%. And just dancing around each other. Nobody wants to commit to anything, and the Nair as well. Let's see. Stashing back. So scary. None of these want to actually risk anything. So it's just kind of going back and forth of hoping that they get some sort of confirmed win situation, but it's not looking like any of them are getting it. The backer to stuff out the arrow as well. I love it. And there we get the jab into grab, ledge trap.
See if we can find anything here. Back air will do it. There's a little bit of movement mix up. Oh, incredible timing on the throw. Avoid that bomb damage. As we do find it up, there's the up air, sends it. You're right with what you mentioned about Midlight sort of looking for these confirms. Midlight's been doing a lot of kind of his own kind of work with his own hands, I should say. And you'll see that as things start to get a little bit tense, a little bit rough, they'll retreat. It's a big stage to play with, all right? So he can run off, he can fire about 3 arrows. If one of them hits, he gets a free confirm, that's a free kill. But if they all miss, if Zangrix is able to kind of beat back that pressure, suddenly you don't really have anything left in the chest to fight off the assault.
Yeah, 100%, and Assault is coming. I mean, Zangrix has your name in his death knell right now. He is wanting to end this stock very quickly, and you know, Noroi ever has honest intentions, so, I mean, that movement, his experience of fighting Ghost sometimes works, but at that point, a little bit too much movement, wanting to land on that platform and not getting anything out of it just now.
Great setup right there from Midlight to catch so many different options all at once. There's some wonderful trapping coming out. Do find an air off stage. Can we find it? No, not quite yet. There's another trap. Beautiful stuff, mate. These bombs and the reactions to the get up are just fantastic. Where do you go? Where do we go now?
I don't know. Where are we even? Let's see.
Still looking very healthy for Zangrix. Obviously a stock up, but Midlight, they've proven that they can definitely make it work.
And there, like we talked about earlier, you got the arrow 1 and then the arrow 2, and that second arrow gets punished. It's the same timing every time, and Midlight has not changed up. He has not adapted quite yet, and Zangrix is so ready for it. He's so ready to punish that second arrow.
Fantastic work. As we're just standing full stage distance, throwing up, peppering, trying to find an opening, just trying to stifle anything.
Okay, playing simply. I like using the fair to just hit out the arrow, right? Knowing what move speed, what is very, very important. And not a lot of people take the time to actually learn that. It's very good. And I don't know if Zangrix learned it, but picking it up on it mid-game, equally impressive.
Exactly, exactly. And it's just a move that gives you a lot of insurance. If we do go for an aggressive nair, something like that, obviously you are covered with that disjoint, but otherwise you're just stifling out, you're just buying yourself time, which is absolutely fine in a situation like this, especially when you are a stock up. But unfortunately, nothing lasts forever there, dear August, all right, as things looking a little bit dangerous, all right? You can't get much of a punish off that up special, and that is a real crying shame. We find it down tilt, but it doesn't quite alter the course of our game too much, as we're on that platform. Good prime position for Zangrix as we are pushing to the side, but Midlight has been taken back that momentum very, very slowly.
And the armor as well from the uppy beating through the jab. So many scramble situations going back and forth, and none of them are sure what to do. Delaying as well.
I like the timing mix up. It's very, very cheeky. Midlight feeling the pressure. See if we can bring it back. Obviously firing out those arrows, trying to find a confirm. We need more percent. We need something. Throw everything in the kitchen sink if you can there, Midlight. Because you can find a kill. You know you can if you could just force him into a poor situation. But it's the verticality that's just sealing his fate right now.
Yeah, and they're both like so terrified of every interaction, so none of them are really committing. And the four, they're almost getting Zangrix offstage. That would be huge, but the back or outer shield instead is going to close it out. And we got a game 5, Nutros.
We certainly do. My goodness, it looked so awful for Zangrix when we first started, but clawing it back 2 games so confidently. This is a prime game 5, baby. This is hot. Midlight has had all the time in the world to adapt. They've had a lot to play with. Obviously, PS2 has not worked right here, so they keep trying, keep coming up with options. Let's see what they're missing. Let's see what they can come back with, because this is where a lot of things fall apart. A lot of players in this, just in this sphere, can get away with utilizing a game plan that they perfected, that they've absolutely nailed. And hey, it worked for 2 games. This was best of 3. You are absolutely chilling, brother. But unfortunately, it's being able to adjust those game plans mid-flow that separates the good from the great. So we're going to see just who cinches it. We're back to PS2.
Yeah, and definitely we do not forget that SD that Zangrix had in game 2 as well. It could look very different right now if that didn't happen, but of course Zangrix adapting beautifully, and I think Midlight has shown some signs of life. That last game very, very close, right? I think definitely the counter adaptation is going to come into play here. There's a few things like that arrow being sent out, like when Zangrix is not approaching and Midlight is going for arrow and then just another buffered arrow. In certain situations, when Zangrix is ready for it, he can just run in and punish it. Not on reaction, but because he knows it's going to happen, right? So I think stuff like that, if Zangrix doesn't have that ability anymore, if Midlight doesn't give him that, it's definitely going to be, once again, very hard to get in on Youngling.
Certainly is, and it looks like Midlight is slowly just starting to claw it back right there. Zangrix just a second away from death, slowly able to buy a little bit of time there. And honestly, Midlight's starting to adapt a lot more. We've seen Zangrix has used the same side B timing about 3 times in a row, and it has been punished. That's what's led to this entire string right here, is that one opening. Kicked to the back, sent off to the side. Midlight in the lead once again.
Yeah, that quick net from Younglink kills super early as well, Natros, and it's no joke to deal with Younglink up close. That's what we talked about in the beginning of the set. You might think he's just a zoner, but that's the thing with zoners in Ultimate. They are zoners who also box. They just looked at the zoners and they thought, let's just make them strong up close. And it's definitely a terrifying thing to behold. But this advantage being pushed by Midlight right now. It may be even stock, but the percent is racking up.
Yeah, just a little bit more percent. 78 will do it. There is definitely a scenario where Midlight can find a kill right now if they play their cards right. Zangrix not quite high enough for Rage just yet, so this is the perfect positioning right now. 108, just desperately trying to find it back. That there was clutch. Could have been absolute disaster. As the Nair comes out, Midlight just looking to finish the mission, just looking to find an opening right now.
Oh!
Sent off.
Beautiful.
Almost a couple of ticks more.
Oh, how did that miss? And the reverse Nair is going to send Zangrix far off stage. He might be dead, and he definitely is right there. 2 stocks to 1. But right now we need to see something happen from the side of Zangrix, and the side B almost takes it, but not quite. 92% on Younglink. He's light, but it's not that light. But the back air and the bomb combined takes this into last stock, last game, Natros.
Absolute fiery final moments here in this Game 5 set. The crowd is starting to swarm. Who will take it? Zangrix with the positioning up high, and obviously we just have to see who's going to win, the unstoppable force or the immovable object.
Oh,
as
100%.
Midlight more than happy to hold position, trying to find a way in right now. A bit of a clash onto the platform, denying this area from Zangrix. There will be no advantage for you there, sir, as we are sent off. Are we going to get too antsy? Are we going to go too hard? We have to stay consistent.
Yeah, and Midlight so desperate for the reverse. He just wants to reset to mid-stage, so he just jumps. But and Zangrix gives it to him. We get this tech chase as well. So terrifying. The boomerang and the arrow is going to be so oppressive. And every percent matters at this point, right?
Exactly.
Younglink might not kill early, but he can definitely catch you off guard with certain tools like Nair and 4 there.
It certainly is. We've seen arrow after arrow. Only one needs to hit, and that's where Mid gets his money, as Zangrix trying to find a way in, just feigning, forcing something out. Trying desperately to find it. The down tilt gets high profile. Not going to work. The parry, the up tilt, the Nair. This could be it for Zangrix.
Once again, the ledge trap, and you are going to get a hit by that bomb on ledge, but he's going to take it. It's way better than all the other options right there, and we do want that. Let's see the upper barely whiffing. Once again, the tech chase.
Pixels away from death over and over again. This is going to be it. 155. Surely Midlight finds the kill here, but that raging ball is on his way onto the platform. Prime position for Zangrix as we try and make it back. There's the down tilts trying to find a hit.
Oh!
There's the taunt! Oh, it wasn't enough. There was no punish as the jab doesn't come through either. There's the Nair, and that's going to be it.
And what a set that was. Could we have asked for a better first set, Nutros? Game 5, the Game 5 going into Midlight's favor. So close, the second Nair, trying to punish it, but you can't. That's the problem. Never look up Younglink frame data, because that kind of stuff, that's
the stuff of nightmares.
That is the stuff of nightmares.
Let me tell you.
The Nair into Nair, definitely catching him off guard. And I mean, that was our second set technically.
It was. Hey, hot set after hot set.
Yeah.
Right?
2 for 2 right now.
Ludicrous stuff, ludicrous. It's I see the vision. Honestly, it felt like it fell apart at the end there when Zangrix had figured out how to close this distance and figured out how to break that kind of barrier. And